You can't hear it probably, but it is quite windy today. Perfect weather to cozy up with a thriller, which I did do this morning. Finished The Housemaid. I need to find another one. Hello, my fellow page pamper. My name is Cora. Welcome to my channel, Pampered Pages, and welcome to my 2025 Bookish Superlatives. IYKYK, I love creating playlists that correspond to specific books. And last year I crafted 15 bookish superlatives, each featuring the song title of a specific blast from my past hit. This year I have come up with 12 new superlatives. So without further ado, let's get into the jams and books. Teardrops on My Guitar, a book that would have had me purchasing a new guitar from my tear shed. I called it in my library vlog the Red Address book by Sophia Lundberg. Definitely made me cry, although sob would probably be better verbiage. My emotions were in complete shambles by the end of this book, but 10 out of 10 would sign up for said emotional damage again and again. In this story, one follows 96-year-old Doris reflecting on her life through the entries of people she has documented in a red address book gifted by her late father. Through her memories and connections, one comes to know Doris deeply while also exploring themes of adversity and resilience, family and friendship, intergenerational connections and a legacy, life and death, and love and loss. IMO, the Red Address book, was beautifully written, very quote-worthy, and I would highly recommend it if, especially, you want to feel lots of feels. It was one of those books I feel like I read at exactly the right time, and I absolutely love when that happens. You Found Me, a book that felt like a hug to my soul. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig was exactly what I wanted it to be. In this story, the reader follows Nora, who finds herself in the Midnight Library, a place between life and death. With the help of an old friend, Nora works through her various regrets by living out different lives from the pages of various books. But is the perfect life with the perfect choices actually attainable? Matt Haig was a new to me author last year. So far, I have read The Life Impossible and The Midnight Library. This year, I am especially looking forward to his latest release and also one of my top 10 most anticipated reads, The Midnight Train. Fireflies, a book or series that felt like childhood summer nights spent catching fireflies. This specific trilogy transported me right back to summer nights catching lightning bugs and beach trips with my grandparents. This summer, I turned Pretty Trilogy by Jenny Han. If I am remembering correctly, I immersively read this trilogy through a mix of audiobooks from my library and my own personal hard copies. The audiobooks are narrated by the actors from the show, which I have yet to finish, but IMO Lola Tung, who plays Belly, did a perfect job capturing the essence, the enchantment of summer. Replay, a book I'd likely reread in the future. A top favorite read contender for me in 2025 was The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. And with the sequel prequel in the works, I can definitely see myself revisiting its pages at some point in the future. Also last year, I did have the opportunity to meet Sarah Penner. As another new to me author, I was able to delve into a couple of her works, The Lost Apothecary being one of them, and I have to say I greatly admire the research and cross-genre elements she incorporates into her writing. So TBC. Beautiful. An author whose writing is so dang beautiful. 2024 was my immersion into this particular author's gothically poetic world building, and 2025 only cemented my appreciation for her stories. My fellow page pamperer, I give you Rachel Gillig and The Night and the Moth. The cover for The Knave and the Moon, which is book 2 and another one of my top 10 most anticipated releases, was just very, very recently revealed, and I cannot wait to get my hands, eyes, and brain back into that story. Bartholomew, I'm coming. I Got a Feeling, a new to me author who I've got a feeling I'm going to read more from. 2025 was obviously the year of several new to me authors, Alice Feeney being one of them. Beautiful Ugly was my introduction into Alice Feeney's writing, and I have a hunch it will not be my last. That book was a page turner, and IMO, the perfect blend of creepy, atmospheric, and mysterious. I have had my eyeballs on a couple of her other titles, but I am open to recommendations. It Girl, a book that was that girl for me in 2025. Another top read for me in 2025 was The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. Love came knocking for Florence Day and for me as well, and I am so glad I opened the door to this story. As I mentioned in my spoiler-free book trailer and review, The Dead Romantics for me was a short and feel-good read about life and love after loss and taking chances. Ashley Poston is on my reading radar this year, and I have my eyeballs completely peeled for her upcoming release, The Someday Garden. Break Your Heart, a book with an ending that broke my heart. I had heard that this specific title was quite heartbreaking, and I can confirm, I did have myself a moment while listening to an atmospheric playlist and researching its context even further as soon as I finished its final page, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. IMO, this title is appropriately hyped, and if you enjoy stories about Greek mythology with action-packed, character-driven love stories and lyrical prose, this is a title I would definitely recommend. The Song of Achilles was actually a 2024 reading hopeful for me, but it very quickly became my 2025 bookish bar. I do remember someone had commented on one of my TikToks that this is a title I would still be thinking about in 2026. Here we are, and can confirm, again, that statement has been proven true. Castle on the Hill, a book that had me feeling every life mile. Another beginning of the year read for me was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. And Addie, dear Addie, despite being forgotten in her world, lives on right inside here. Shortly after finished reading this book, my husband and I traveled to Paris, and from Paris eventually took a train through France to Switzerland, and rolling past those small towns and villages really brought to life parts of Addie's journey, and I would just love to know where she is now. Somebody That I Used to Know, a book with relationship roller coaster energy. A Curse Carved in Bone by Danielle L. Jensen was a highly anticipated read for me in 2025, and looking back, I feel like it was quite a conclusive finale to Jensen's saga of the unfated duology. That book, that duology, brought roller coaster energy in more ways than one, with Freya and Bjorn's relationship front and center. I do have the first book in Danielle L. Jensen's Bridge Kingdom series on my shelf, and I hope I would love to read it at some point this year. Teenage Dream, a book that had me soaking up every romantic ray. If you're in search of some romantic rays and nostalgic summer vibes, One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune might be the book for you. Alice and Charlie's relationship over the story's summer timeline brought all the tension and banter I was looking for. I would like to mention One Golden Summer can be read as a standalone, but I would perhaps recommend checking out Every Summer After first. They are interconnected, and from what I read after finishing One Golden Summer, Every Summer After gives good backstory, gives good context to certain characters that you read about in One Golden Summer. I did not read them in that order, but if I could go back in time, I would. Still enjoyed my time though. Unwritten, a book that hasn't concluded in my heart. Ever talented in historical fiction and interconnected timelines, Evie Woods did it again for me with The Mysterious Bakery on Rue de Paris. The perfect mix of character and plot-driven storytelling. This title incorporated a variety of elements that I personally love: history, magic, mystery, romance, France. IYKYK, I do love me a story set in France. Continuing my ever-expanding TBR, The Violin Maker's Secret by Evie Woods is another top anticipated release for me this year, and I am just so thankful for this continuous feeding of Woods' writing. Those are my 2025 bookish superlatives. Here's to seeing what 2026 shall bring. I'd love to know, what was your top read for 2025? I'm not picking, but perhaps maybe The Night and the Moth, The Lost Apothecary, The Dead Romantics, The Midnight Library, The Red Address Book, or The Mysterious Bakery on Rue de Paris. Lots of those, lots of titles. But again, I'm not picking because I can't. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you soonish. Bye!